I've ever seen. This is a special March Madness edition where throughout the month of March I'm going to be reviewing Clive Owen movies tournament style to figure out which one is best. Today the movie that I'm going to be talking about is Hemingway and Gellhorn. We're kind of running low on time here. The end of March is slowly creeping up. I've got this movie to talk about, another movie to review, then the last of the quarterfinals, 2 semifinals rounds, and then a final. So there might be multiple videos up on each day. So there you go. I believe this was an HBO exclusive, so it was kind of like a TV movie, but close enough. In this movie, Clive Owen plays Hemingway, the famous writer. I haven't read any of his books. So it's kind of like a biopic, but it doesn't really tell the full story of his life, because, I feel like that's a little bit of a downer at the end there. This is more kind of focused on his relationship with this Gellhorn lady, who's like a journalist, like war correspondent, I believe is what they call it. This movie was very boring, like painfully dull. This wasn't that good. I did not like this. I mean, it's just them, their relationship, romance. They get married and then they get divorced at the end. I guess he had like 4 wives or something too. But God, this was just very, very boring and hard to watch. It's just one of those movies where you're like, it's been on for an hour, and then you check the thing and it's only been 20 minutes. Like, what the hell is going on here? And the movie is already like 2.5 hours long, which is very long. But not necessarily too long, because you can have long movies as long as they don't feel long. One of my favorite movies is Dark Knight Rises, and I think that's 2 hours and 45 minutes, and that's not too long. The Lord of the Rings movies, if you watch the extended cuts, the first 2 both top off over 3 hours, and the 4th one is over 4 hours. None of those feel long. Speaking about 4 hours, I just watched a movie on HBO Max that was 4 hours long, and it had slow motion in it. So a movie can be long. That's not a problem. It's good if it doesn't feel long. And this felt long. This felt long and slow and dull and boring, and I don't even really want to talk about it all that much. I mean, I'm getting Howling for the original Nightmare vibes off that. That movie was legitimately painful to watch. This wasn't painful, I'll give it that. This wasn't as bad as Howling 4. Howling 4 was bad. Howling 4 hurt me. It hurt inside to watch Howling 4. This movie, it's just not even worth it. I don't even know, man. Tony Shalhoub was in it. He played a Russian guy. I guess the acting was good. Clive Owen's accent was a little off. I don't know. I guess he's trying to do American and it comes off a little loud, like he's yelling. I mean, maybe Hemingway yelled. I never heard Hemingway talk. I don't know if there is audio of Hemingway talking. Could there be? This is like 30s, I think, because they reference Hitler, but World War II hasn't really happened yet. I suppose it does in the beginning of the movie. It doesn't happen yet. It happens at some point in the movie, I believe. So I know there's stuff with D-Day, but yeah. So it's 30s. Well, they were making movies, because they were making movies back in the 30s. So I suppose there what I feel like there probably is, like, audio or video of Hemingway, and I just am an idiot and don't know this. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking before I further show how ignorant I may or may not be. Yeah, the movie sucked. I didn't like it. Too boring. That's all I've got to say about Hemingway and Gellhorn.